Hey,
Yeah.
it's
Dang.
Friday. It's Friday afternoon, evening, whatever you want to call it. It's Friday, and it's sunny and it's hot as hell. And I got to speak to this guy. Who are you again?
You are so lucky to be with the ball one, the cold one, John ColderIce Lawson.
It really depends on your definition of luck, but
All right. Come on, Grump.
I'm Brent Leary. People
He's the
just
grouch.
people tune in just to see the consistency that I bring to the table.
Will you turn off that thing?
It's like I don't know why. You know what? This is the problem with the iOS devices. That wasn't even my phone that was ringing. That was my damn laptop that was ringing.
Because, yeah.
Because it's all that iOS stuff.
Yeah, if you don't realize it.
I really
You
hate.
turn your phone off and then your stupid laptop rings.
I know because I always keep my phone ringer off,
Oh, okay.
and then now I got to worry about my damn laptop. So stupid. Anyway, we're back, folks. We're back. Do you remember us?
No, they probably don't. They're probably like, dude, you guys have been gone for months.
Well, I mean, they should remember you because you're like Coach John. Everybody loves Coach John.
That's because John loves everybody.
Oh, Jesus. At least you didn't call yourself Coach John.
So it's reciprocal.
Are there any Coach John fans out there? Let us know. We'd love to say hello to you and ask you certain questions like what's the hell? What the hell is wrong with you? If you really
you're just such a hater, dude. You're just such a hater.
I don't know how I became a hater.
I don't either. But you've always been one since I've known you. I don't know when this started.
I'm just a cynic by nature.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Look at this. Look at this. Eric Winchester. Coach John fan checking in. He's loud and he's proud about being a Coach John fan too.
Yeah, he probably just wants to rib you, sir.
Why would he? He doesn't even know me.
I don't know.
That's the thing, man. That's why I'm a cynic. People just irritate the hell out of me. I don't know.
Just people in general. Just in general.
It just doesn't seem to take much.
Mm-hmm. Eric, what's up, man?
Oh, he's looking for merch.
Oh, now I know he's ribbing.
Yeah, if he tells me he spends money on merch for Coach John, we might have to end this thing early.
I have to make a bobblehead doll.
Well, you got the bobblehead for it.
Shut up.
Any more of the Coach John fan?
Oh my God.
I was gonna say fanboys or girls or whatever I used to call them the ColderIceaholics.
That was back in the day, wasn't it?
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time, man. Oh man, I tell you, it's incredible how fast time flies. I saw a picture from 16 years ago when we did our event. God, I just can't believe I
was it. Wait a minute, what event was that?
Wait, I'm sorry. 16 years ago was what? 2010.
Was that the aftermath thing?
Yeah, that would have been the aftermath.
Ooh, wow. That's been 16 years? Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It might even be 17.
So that's around the 2009, 2010 time frame?
Yeah, 09.
And Donahoe was the CEO of eBay.
Yeah, that's true.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was his first year or second. I think it was his first year.
And he came to your event. I mean,
Well, I mean, yeah.
Well, it was an eBay thing, but it was your after event. It was yours. Yeah, he came.
That's true. I mean, hey, it's not like I sent out an invitation to him.
Just think about that. He ended up being a Fortune 500 CEO.
Yeah.
He went Nike, and before that, ServiceNow. And I don't know what the hell he's doing now, but do you?
Wow.
Kind of ruined a couple of
small world, bro. Small world.
But yeah, I mean, that was impressive for you to have an event and have a at the time because eBay was like something
The
that people
it.
were still like talking about back then.
Yeah, they were the e-commerce game, man, at
Yeah,
that time. That's crazy.
I mean, actually, at that time for that game, they were probably on par in terms of talking about with dare I say Amazon. I
Yeah, I'm
mean,
about to say it's like Jeff Bezos coming to my party.
well, I don't know. I
Well,
mean,
I'm just saying. I mean, he was,
Donahoe wasn't.
I don't
I
know.
never equated him in that kind of
No, but I'm just saying he's a CEO of a major e-commerce
Well,
platform.
that's true. And you did something even back then that a lot of people that are you know doing events, you got a CEO of a big name company to come to your little ta- tawdry event, and I think he actually was having a good time.
Oh, you could not have a good time.
I just want the credit for naming it. That's all. I just want the credit for naming it. The aftermath. That was my idea, folks.
Was it really?
It was absolutely
Let
my
me let
idea.
me let me
Don't
blur
even
up
let me do nothing but say yes, you're right.
the memory of something that happened 16 years ago.
I remember it. Even what was Peggy even there? Was Peggy Duncan even there?
I think Peggy Duncan was there.
She was there. I mean,
think
that
Peggy
says a hell of a lot. That actually might be more impressive than you getting John Donahoe there,
Yeah,
getting
right.
Miss Peggy there.
Peggy came out. Yeah, that's right.
That's saying a lot right there. What
Yeah,
do
that's
you miss
crazy.
those days back then when you were on the come up from a e-commerce social media perspective?
Do I miss those days?
Yeah,
Probably.
I'm sure there are fond memories.
Yeah, there's
All
fond memories of it. But do I miss it? No,
you don't miss any of it? None of
not
it?
really. I mean, I kind of like my life the way it is. So
Okay,
no,
okay.
you know, I was just sitting there just thinking about it. It's like, no, man. I mean, I was still in the grind. I was, always worried about my account being shut off. And, it was just, I mean, it sounds great, but in hindsight, just really thinking about all the crap I went through, I'm glad to make it through. And no, I don't want to go back and revisit.
No,
You
no
know?
revisiting you. You don't want to
Yeah,
look back.
man. But that's just me just in general.
You never
You
look
know,
back.
I'm not one to go and, pine for the
Reminisce
past.
for the good old days.
Yeah. I'm just not that guy. Not that guy, man.
Yeah, you like to keep it moving.
Keep it moving. It's gonna be some great things on the horizon, man. I mean, we're in the age of AI. Come on.
Yeah, what does that mean
The age of AI?
to you?
Well, I mean, more than anything right now, it's just so uh, it's every once in a while they just amaze me. This is a time of amazement. It's a time of opportunity. You know, we're at the beginning of a whole new, era in humanity. Now, how that plays out, I don't know, but it's exciting. Aren't you excited?
I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Okay. Well, gosh, that'd be different.
I mean, I do see truth in your words. Excitement abounds. I don't know if it's fool's gold excitement or if it's actual legitimate excitement. Because if you look through the course of history, whenever anything new from a technological perspective, anything new happens, it always feels like, and I could be wrong, but it always feels like a very small handful of folks really get to realize that full excitement and turn that full, unbridled, passionate excitement into a big opportunity, a big stake, a big claim. And all the other folks who see that start to dream that will happen to them. And it absolutely never does. So why is this going to be different now, this year, or what we're doing now with AI and all that? Why is that going to be different, the outcome from that excitement? Why is that going to be different from all the other technological developments that have happened in the past 200 years, where only a few seem to benefit greatly and all the rest chase it and never get it?
I mean, I think at one level that's just humanity in general, not the technology having much to do with that part. Um, but I mean, if you look at like the internet, I mean, everybody is benefiting from the internet, like everybody. You can't do anything without somewhere having to utilize the internet. I mean, so what you define, you know, what you mean there.
The internet is like the phone.
Yep.
We all benefit from the phone now, but
Yep.
we ain't all getting rich off of the phone. We ain't all getting rich off of the internet, although all of us benefit to a certain degree from using it.
Right. But the opportunity is there for everyone.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is it a real opportunity to get ahead in a way that the masses never really did get ahead from some of the other
Well,
technological
that's
developments?
what I'm saying. I mean, the masses, if the masses all get ahead, then nobody got ahead.
But it feels like if a few people get ahead, does that really do most of us any good?
I don't know about whether it's going to do us any good, but it does that person pretty good.
Well, yeah, like Thomas Edison, he got
Yeah.
ahead. You
Yeah.
know, those
Well, I mean,
fireworks, they get ahead. I'm not taking anything away from them,
yeah.
but why do all us regular folk get so excited about certain things? And it's been proven time and time again, those things that we get so excited and enraptured about, they don't really lead to the thing that we think it ought to lead to for us as individuals.
Well, I think that's humans. You know, we got that Pollyanna thing going on. Everybody don't when you realize it takes work, then it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna continue doing what I normally do. So I think that's part of it, right? The promise always is it's going to be something that you can do with your eyes closed and there's not any work like they're doing right now with AI. You know, everybody's making these promises. AI is going to do blah, 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 and it's going to be easy for you to do. But in reality, it still takes work. I mean, people do, and people, you know, in general are not really wired to be self-sufficient and independent a lot of times.
I guess it's the same setup as it's always been. So there are people, let's call them the hypesters, who latch on to whatever is getting the attention at the moment.
Yep.
And they learn just enough about it that they can pull the wool over the eyes of the general public.
They're marketers.
But should marketers actually have a positive kind of impact and not just no?
Isn't that marketers ruin everything kind of?
Is it marketing or is it self-promotion or is it the fascination with branding?
Nah, I think, and we have to have somebody that's like an expert. I think branding is a subset. It's almost different than marketing and branding kind of go together, but then they're different things, aren't they?
I think they are, but I think most people get them confused with the other.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like all of it falls under the same thing. But you know, branding is a special skill.
You know what? I think, and I saw this. I think I saw it on I don't know. It could have been like I was flipping channels and in the morning, and I flipped it on MS Now, and they were having this conversation with this lady who just so happened to be a black lady. She was probably like, I think, in her early 40s, and apparently she's well known. I just don't know her. And I was like, well, all right, I'll have to be honest. I was like, well, she is good looking, so maybe I ought to just watch this a little longer. He was talking, but she was talking about, apparently she has built a business because it was a segment on uh, uh, some award event that was coming up for women, and so it's like these women from across the world, and it was run by like Forbes and MS Now, and so they were talking about this event, and one of the people that was going to be a part of this event is this young lady, and I had never heard of her. I wish I could remember her name. But what they were talking about with her, I was a little skeptical at first because it sounded like, oh, this is one of these people going to be talking about, their story about how they did this, and I built my personal. It was not like that at all. She actually said, this is the thing that kind of flipped the switch for me and made me say, oh my God, this is really good. She said that most people that are saying they are really about business, most people, all they are talking about and fixated on and spending all their time on is this promotional branding stuff. That's the last thing you all should be worried about. You really should be worried about how to manage your supply chain, how to build. I mean, she broke it down. She was talking about actual things that you do for your business to make it thrive, not just talking about what your business is or how your story is part of your business. She said, that's the last thing you need to focus on because that's what all y'all are focusing on right now. You really need to focus on things like ERP systems, supply chain management, workflow automation, process automation. How to build a business with scale is that, not about branding. And I said, my goodness, I wish she wasn't married.
Yes.
Because I for sure would love to find out
all of that and all you're thinking about.
My damn self, all right? But I agree with everything she said. And because it was so refreshing to see. She was beautiful. She's a business person.
And people barely talk about that.
And people are barely all they talk about is the brand.
All they talk about is marketing and branding.
Yeah. And she
barely branding. They don't really talk about branding either. They really just talk about marketing.
It's like sometimes, and we've had this conversation, like people seem to want to talk about the business as opposed to building the business.
Building the business. Yes.
They want to talk about it instead of do it.
You know what? All of that is the work.
And that's why you said most people don't want to do it?
They don't want to work. They want to be, a internet celebrity. Even internet celebrities do a lot of work.
But they don't want to
you about.
Yeah, that's right.
They sit there and make it seem like it's easy, and it's not. It's like, God, I can't even imagine being. Did you see that? There's a show on Netflix about some guy that follows around these internet. I don't know what you would call them, but they're like internet assholes that are like macho man kind of thing. Did you see that thing?
Macho man. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Oh man, I tell you, it's worth watching. I gotta pull this up. But at any rate, the premise is that there's a subculture that's going on the internet of like He-Man woman haters. That's what and it's hyper masculine kind of stuff. And so this guy is doing this expose on and he follows around.
Wait a minute. I think I did see. It's like, yeah, I know exactly, because this dude is this British guy.
Yes.
Lewis something, because I've seen a lot of his documentaries on the BBC stuff.
Yes.
BBC Network. Just want to make sure. All right. So, and so he does a lot of deep dive documentary stuff, and he's doing it in the, what they call it, the manosphere, I think is what it's called.
Manosphere, yeah.
So he's following. I had never heard of any of these people that he's, and they're making a killing off of talking to these suckers about how they need to be more of a man and all this nonsense.
Yes.
And some of these dudes are living large because they got all these numbskulls out there thinking this is all they have to do is be like that, and they're gonna get paid just like all these other dudes. Right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Right. But what it also takes a look at is how much, like the one guy that he kind of embedded with a couple of times, that I was really just looking at how much time this guy spent and effort on making the videos.
Oh, you know? Yeah.
So it was like, he's got the team following him around all the time. They're coming up with angles that they've got to, or try to make work. Some of them work, some of them don't. But if nothing else, they're just constantly putting out content. And that's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but it's always about how to make them look so good in every damn situation.
Oh, yeah.
They started going into the relationships they have with the. I don't know why these women put up with all that stuff. But.
My God, really? that was like, dude. Okay.
But apparently, maybe they're living large and they like.
But I understand why he feels that way about women.
If he's finding women that'll put up with that stuff,
yeah, I'm like, y'all are just, you're reinforcing his beliefs.
I don't know any women like that personally, and and I don't want to talk negative about anybody, but I just find it really that documentary was eye-opening and jarring for a lot of reasons. But getting a little bit back to the kind of talk about this business stuff, it just feels like there's a lot more people that are susceptible to what they see without thinking about what's going on behind the scenes to make this thing you see come together in front of you. A lot of it is smoke and mirrors.
A lot of it's smoke and mirrors. And
it just feels like people will buy the smoke and mirrors because they just want to believe the smoke and mirrors.
It's a dream.
Can you explain why?
Don't. You're gonna get me in trouble.
I just don't understand. Maybe because the way I was brought up, I didn't believe in a lot of the stuff I saw. I'm very skeptical by nature.
Yes.
And I don't buy into things. It takes me a lot to buy into things.
I'll say one word.
What's that?
Religion.
Yo, you really want to get in trouble.
That's what I'm saying. If I can make you believe in those fairy tales, then everything else is simple to make you believe. So,
I don't think everybody that's involved or wants to.
I'm not saying that because we can go. I'm not saying religious. I'm saying the concept of religion,
the formal.
Yeah, I mean, because what do we start off with? We start off with the Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus. I mean, this stuff is inbred into humans when they're children.
Yeah, but eventually
even make believe.
Yeah, but even eventually we grow out of that and we find out.
No, we don't. That's the point. That's the exact point.
Do you mean there's still some adults running around thinking that?
That's why they're selling them these packages of hope and dreams.
It's because they want to. It's because they want to believe that.
Yes, they do.
Is that their fault?
Did you want to believe there was a Santa? They didn't force it on you.
Yeah, but eventually you find out it's not true, and you move on because you have to move on. How can they not move on?
You're crushed, and now you're looking for the next thing to believe in.
Or you figure out, okay, that was a nice story.
No, you know what you need to be figuring out is what is the behavior that I need to change so that doesn't happen to me anymore. So now I need to do my research, Google it. You know what I'm saying? But we don't do that.
That's too much damn work, man. Come on, give me another story I can believe in. That other stuff is too much damn work.
It's work. It's so much easier to believe than it is to work.
What about like kids that are kid and they love playing sports and they play it all day long, and when they get to a certain age, they think I have a chance to go pro. Are they are the majority of those folks living a dream?
That's a good question. But yeah, most of them are. Yeah, most of them are. Most of them already know you are not that good.
Really? Do you think they know that? And they just,
yeah, they do. So they're hyping their own selves up sometimes. But I mean, look, I mean, sports is about numbers.
That's true, but so is life.
Yeah, that's true too. So you ignore all of the actual facts and you believe in the fantasy.
Well, here's the thing. Some people will say, well, he is 6'5", so he might have a chance.
That's true too. Right? And that reinforces, this is why I believe this way. See? And I get it. And then, of course, you always get the story of a guy that actually believed enough in himself and brought him all the way through. And then it's like, that reinforces it too.
You get the Mr. Beast.
Stop.
I'm just using that as an example because he is what everybody that's on social media, on YouTube at least. But come on.
Even Mr. Beast will tell you that when he was like 8 years old, he said he was going to be what he's going to be. And that was his goal. He set out a goal and worked hard towards his goal and received the rewards. So, I mean, there's nothing to be said bad about having a goal, but but that's not enough. You got to put in the work.
Yeah, you have to have a goal and you have to have a plan and you have to be able to know when to call it when it's not coming together.
Yeah.
Because most people will never reach that lofty level that he's on, of course. But that doesn't stop them from dreaming about it.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, if that, I think he's a good goal. If that's what you want to be, then do the things that you need to do to get to that level. Study what he did, right? And emulate those patterns. And I think you will get a lot further than just sitting around wishing and throwing.
Well, you know what? Here's what I would tell people. Some of the most successful people that have ever been around, and I'll just say in terms of like business, like a Bill Gates or a Jeff Bezos or Steve Jobs. You notice how you never hear them sitting around talking about what they did to build their business. They're just building their damn business. You don't hear them. Yeah. You don't hear them.
Yeah, but that's not true.
That is true. When's the last time you saw Bill Gates?
That's the key. When was the last time? But see, I was there while they were building their businesses.
Oh, and Bill Gates was
about it all the time.
Bill Gates was doing webinars on how to grow.
No.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I was getting ready to say. I have never seen that one before.
That's funny.
I mean, Michael.
You know what? Usually, I'm trying to really think of a business that actually made their money from the business and then turned into a marketer.
Good one.
It's a very thin margin of people, but
you know why? You know why it's probably a very thin, because those are two separate skill sets, and not everybody can have both like a builder mentality and a marketer promotional mentality.
Right.
That's very hard.
You look at Steve Jobs, he was a marketer.
He was a creative before they even came up with that stuff.
But could he code?
I think he could code limited, but his forte was his visionary ability to come up with stuff.
He could get people that could code to make what he was thinking.
Yeah, but his biggest gift was being able to think of things that people didn't even know they wanted and build it or have it built.
Have it built. Yeah. I mean that kind of vision is very rare. And
Yeah, Pierre, that's what I'm
talking. A lot of people think they are that, and they're not.
I think it's way harder to be that than to have what a lot of people think that success is just running around talking about how I built my business and all that kind of stuff.
I'm going to say something, and people you're going to hate me for it, but I mean, there are.
Go ahead.
There is a class of workers that will always be workers. That's just they
expand on that some.
I just think there's like this. There's some people that will just be chasing forever, and I don't know why, but it's almost like they're hardwired in this way. And I just think about certain people. Here's funny, right? High school. If you go all the way back to high school, and you think about like the people that were voted for, to be the most successful or to be the best dressed, you have all these different classes and these categories of people, right? And then you go back and you think about it, it's like, where are those people today? How many of those people actually turned into something? I knew they wasn't shit back in the day, but they could run with a football, and so everybody was like, oh, he's so blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? It's just like there's some folks, man, that you could tell even back in the day they weren't going to do much. I don't know.
And what they did mostly was run their mouths. Maybe that's what I'm suspicious when somebody is talking way more than they seem to be doing. I don't know. It just feels like when all you do is talking about what you say you're doing, that throws me off a bit. I want to see something happening besides your mouth just moving. And maybe that's why I was so glad to see this lady who apparently is somebody who's well known and seems to be very influential say what she said about the last thing you need to worry about is branding and marketing. Get into supply chain management, get into your processes and automation and workflow. You don't hear that kind of talk much. Now you see some people that use some of those phrases because they want you to attend their workshop or something like that. But this was a different kind of conversation for what she was saying. And that's
I'm really, really lucky to get to work with so many, small business owners, founders, and as they come through the door, some of them are ready to put in the work, but a lot of them will be the ones that are a lot of talk. They follow the latest trend. They're always looking for a shortcut. And even the fact that they want to be in business is a shortcut for them.
Is it because they want to be in business because they think it'll get them to be a celebrity and talk about business?
Nah, I don't see a lot of there are some celebrity wannabe kind of vibe. I think at this point, a lot of people have been sold the idea that you need to be a celebrity to sell a product. Right.
Yeah, that's what celebrities do. They sell product because they have some level of influence. But business people,
those people are for hire.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Business people that are CEOs, they shouldn't be thinking like that.
No.
They should be thinking about like
somebody to be the face of the brand.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's an easy thing. And I think so many people are sitting around trying to be the face of the brand. instead of building a business.
I think that's really what they want. They think maybe acting like they're in business allows them the best way to become some kind of influential speaker or something. But that, I mean, there are ways to do that that don't really include actually building a real business. You could find ways to be a spokesperson.
Look, people believing that you are a successful business owner does not make you a successful business owner.
Oh yeah, just like you were saying about the manosphere guys, they know how to make it. What's the term? Fake it till you make it. They know how to make themselves look bigger than life.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you get behind that camera, you're like, they drive an Uber. And I'm not disparaging anybody.
One thing, I think there are people that look at that and say, I could do that too. And it's like, no, you probably can't. You're not as dedicated to the ignorance that they are dedicated to.
Well, why don't those folks talk about that?
Because it's not sexy. Who wants to talk about that?
If I wanted to really know how you became who you are, I want to know that stuff.
Oh, that would scare you off. You would never do it.
Then that would be the way it goes. But at least I'd have all the information.
If I had to tell you, here's how to be successful and grow a business and sell it, and this is the path, you'd be like, oh hell no, I'm not doing that. Yeah, hell no.
Then
so I got to remove all of the fluff and then just tell you on the.
I think that's what should be going on then.
Yeah,
now if you just want to be able to learn enough so that you can start talking this talk, you're not in business. You don't want to be in business. You want to be well known. You want to be influential, and there's nothing wrong with that. But just be serious and honest with yourself. You don't want to know people.
Oh God, I know so many people.
What do you say? Do you say anything to any of these people? Like, just let me just stop you right there.
No, you don't want this. You know what? I think, as far as I'm concerned, people gravitate towards the personalities that they want to be akin to.
They want to be like it.
Or something like that. So,
I guess that's why nobody gravitates towards me.
Right, exactly. 100%. It's like if I want Brent's success and I have to be like Brent, I don't know if I want to. That's a hard sell there, buddy.
I'm okay with that too. That's the problem. I'm okay with that. But I think,
there's all kind of personalities in our organization, and I think that people gravitate towards a personality more so than anything. And I'm a no frills kind of guy. I'll tell you the truth. The truth hurts, man. I will tell you your baby's ugly.
When you tell somebody that thinks they want to be in business and you can get the sense that you really don't, and you tell them that, what's the reaction? What's the response?
Well, I don't tell them that directly. I try to hint around to, you really need to go back and figure out, because it's all about market fit. Who is the market you're going after, and does that product solve a problem for that market?
But isn't it also about, is this the kind of person who will do it, who will be hardworking enough, who will be dedicated enough to do it? Isn't that part of the equation too?
It's really, I'll tell you what, it's not necessarily about being hardworking as much as it is about being persistent.
All right. Persistence is a big deal.
I mean, just most people will work hard for a short period of time. And I'm like, look, the first 2-3 years, you're going to be working like this. And if you're not ready, if you think this is going to be 6 months overnight success, I have never met anybody that did this in 6 months and overnight success. I've never. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but I've never met anybody, even people that seem like it came overnight success. They can tell you about 2 or 3 other cars that they tried to drive and they fell off a cliff before they got to that. So it's just, yeah. Shut up, Nathan. So
these days is not just about product market fit. Message market fit is he's right. He's right about that.
Right, but this is what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think people focus maybe
way too
more
much
on the message.
Market fit.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
I don't care what your message is. When I take your pill and I don't feel any different, I'm not coming back. I don't care. Message market fit works to get me to do the first buy.
The first time.
After that, I'm going to talk shit about your product. Your product has to actually solve a problem and work.
But I think that's why
I think there's too many average products with great messaging.
I think most people I don't want to. I think there's a lot of overemphasized focus on the marketing message at the expense of really focusing on the product, how it works, what you need to do to make it work, what you need to do to make sure it's efficient at what it does. There's more emphasis on the marketing than on the product. Maybe that's because people love if a message is delivered in a way that's entertaining, informative, it grabs attention. And that seems to be what a lot of people want. They want the attention.
Social media did this.
I think social media enhanced this.
Big time. Look, bro, before this, I mean, if you go back to the old days, your product had to bubble up from the bottom. You know, there was nobody that was just going to get on TV and get an audience of 1 million people overnight.
Isn't that why they went on like the QVCs and those kind of things? Because there was a built-in audience of folks who wanted to just spend money on stuff. And if you were fortunate enough to get on one of them shows with whatever product there was,
you could blow up.
You could blow up.
Right? But only once. Because I could buy your Snuggie and then I'll be like, well, that ain't really work. I don't know if Snuggies didn't work, but you know what I'm saying?
Weren't they a big thing though?
They were a big thing, but for a time, that's not a business.
It's a product.
It's a product.
I think there's a big difference between a good product and a good business.
Maybe that's it.
I think that's it. Maybe you come up with something that works for once and for a limited time, but you need it to be more consistent. You need to have a process that allows you to replicate that success more than just once.
You ever you heard of? Well, I know you haven't, but you ever heard of Slutty Vegan?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I know isn't she like in bankruptcy or something like that now?
That's part of the story.
You know what? I just don't like the name. That's all.
Oh, okay. I'm not a vegan. I don't like vegans. But psych, no, I'm teasing.
But didn't she like franchise or build like multiple locations or something like that?
Very fast.
Yeah.
Very fast. But right now she's on the Atlanta Housewives, and you know that's my favorite show on national TV.
That's still on. Is that really still on?
It's not my favorite show, but yes, it's still on.
Oh my God. What's it been like 20 years or something like that?
That's like 16 years, 17 years, something like that. It's been a long time.
You know what? There's a really well-known brother here in Atlanta, PhD, big time into entrepreneurship, venture capital. And most people didn't know who he was until his wife and him ended up on that show.
Oh, who?
I'm not going to say who it is.
Oh, okay. Well,
there's a story beyond. Anyway, so even when they're wildly successful outside of that, they seem to want to gravitate towards that too.
Well, I mean, you got to be somewhat successful at this point to get on there. But here's the deal, though.
Yes.
She's on the show, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, everybody knows about the bankruptcy and the how she had to buy the company back, how it was taken from her, all that. And she's got to go, you know, because if you don't talk about the real, it won't work on the Real Housewives because it's like if you're hiding stuff, it's going to come out,
especially when everybody else knows about it. Apparently,
everybody knows, right? So I found it very interesting to listen to a portion of her story, and out of all the things that I have assumed about her, I'm like, no, she's a real entrepreneur, because she's got the drive to possibly bring that brand completely back. We'll see. But it wasn't just a personality driven brand like I thought it was.
But then why did she feel the need to do that show? She was already successful outside of that thing. Why? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, of course, yeah, that does.
I remember I heard for years about that. I just don't like the name. So I would never go to that restaurant. But I heard a lot of people thought it was a great place.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, dude, come on. It's a $100 million brand she built.
Now see, she can talk about that stuff because she did it. All these other people running around here.
Right, but I mean, within 5 years, she lost it.
That's a whole other story.
But that's still part of the entrepreneurial story.
That is
right, because we could have. I mean, how many people shit on Steve Jobs? He built that, and then they threw him out.
Yep.
So I mean that these are the stories, people. So you always look at the high part, but there is some shit. That's why I say if I told you my story, you would not do it.
But here's the difference between Steve Jobs and whoever, I hate to call her the slutty vegan lady, but I don't know what her name is. Here's the difference. They both had public rises with their businesses, and they both had public falls from the business. Now, Steve, again, his rise after the fall has been stratus. Everybody knows about it. But he wasn't the one talking about it and having, coming here, I'm going to do a webinar on how it. And she went on TV to kind of, I don't get it, man.
Interesting.
I don't get it.
Well, I mean, she's not on TV but she's just on TV to be a star, I guess. I don't know. That's a good question. I would love to ask her that question. That's a good question. Why are you? What is it that you needed that the Real Housewives? But you know what? Honestly, Real Housewives is a very good platform to build a brand and a business around.
But if you've already done it, you don't.
Right. But I mean, you could go to the stratosphere on national TV like that.
But if she built $100 million brand, she doesn't need it. That's all I'm saying. I don't know, man. I just met Christopher Gaither on another show, so thank you for joining us. Howard Hughes. All right, now Howard Hughes is a really interesting case because that dude, everybody knows him from Hughes Aircraft and all that because he was Mr. all that, but he also built RKO Studios early in the the talkies. He was the man. And he was he was already a millionaire by the time he was like young, because I think his father might have money, but he also wanted to be involved in movie making and pictures and dating actresses. But he also had Hughes Aircraft. I mean, he was the modern day slutty vegan lady because he was.
No, because if he started out with money, he wasn't.
Well, he had money. He was born the son of a poor.
That's another one of these misnomers. People come up with all this money in their background and they try to pretend like they built themselves up. I'm like, bitch, if I started out where you started out.
He was born the son of a poor millionaire. Come on, man.
A poor.
He had to work his way up.
I know, exactly.
He started with $1 million a week in allowance.
Exactly. That'd be killing me, man.
But we saw how he ended up. We don't want the slutty vegan lady to end up like that. I mean,
no, we definitely don't.
Here it says, right about Housewives. Bethany made that platform play popular. She is the highest paid wife because of royalty. I don't know anything about
Yeah, she did. So true. She got on that show just to build her brand for what is it? What's the slim girl vodka? Whatever.
Oh, vodka.
No, it's a liquor. Margarita. Skinny girl margarita. She got on that show
Skinny girl
with
margarita.
the intention of building her brand around Skinny Girl.
Well, she went in there with a plan, but see, it sounds like the difference between her and some of these other folks is she went in there intentionally with a plan. She didn't want to just blow up to be, some celebrity. Apparently, she wanted to leverage.
No, she could care less about the celebrity part.
That's what I'm saying. She's different than the mother folks.
Yeah, she could care less about them, man. And she was it was so weird when you think about it, because she was not a housewife, nor was she rich. I don't even know how she got on the show. I think they just wanted her cachet or whatever.
She wasn't a housewife or wasn't rich.
Nope.
She had like nothing going for her. She had to have something going for her.
She had been on TV and she had done, you remember Martha Stewart did The Apprentice?
She did The Apprentice?
Yeah. One year they did a Martha Stewart Apprentice.
Oh, she appeared on there or something?
And she was on there and she was very memorable. When she did her, solo cuts,
like a pitch or something.
Yeah, well, just when you do the solo and you talk to the camera and you talk about things, she was very memorable, and she was a hustler, and I think that partially got her on to the other.
And
show.
She had a plan. She was ready for her big moment. It sounds like she was ready for the moment, whatever the moment was.
She was totally. It took her a couple years, but because I think it was product market fit. She didn't start out with Skinny Girl Margarita. She had the brand Skinny Girl, and she was doing cookies and all kinds of shit. But at some point, she narrowed it down and found that drink mix. I think one day she did a party, and one of the drinks was the Skinny Girl Margarita, and she had other stuff. And that took off, and she was like, okay, this is it.
All right. Sounds like she's the exception to the rule for the people that go on that show.
Somewhat. I mean, since that time, like he said, she did kind of make a playbook, and others have followed that playbook and done some really good launches. I don't know about,
Maybe the slutty vegan lady thought she was gonna blow her brand up nationally by being on the show or something.
We'll see. They're only 2 episodes in, so
I'm hoping that's the case, because I don't know how to explain it if it ain't.
I mean, she's got a lot of followers and people that are rooting for her. I always see that's why about her, even though you don't go. Me too, is because people just they like the brand, and a lot of women follow her online. So she already came to the show with a lot of cash here, and I think she's probably going to angle it. We'll see.
Good luck to her,
because you never know, man. It could run for you or against you.
But right now she's fighting bankruptcy or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And she spent a lot of money getting the company back. That's basically what it is.
So wait, did she sell it and then had to buy it back?
Yeah. She sold too much of it, and then they kind of like
she lost control of it. Basically,
she lost control, and then she had to buy it back. And
give her credit for buying it back.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. But it's just funny. It's funny to me, man. It's like just how many people don't understand business and always got an opinion.
Those seem to be the people I hear from the most. Whatever. And see the most. I'm not going to get into any particular.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But you know what?
You suck.
You know what I'm saying.
You're a hater.
I am a natural born hater.
Apparently. Pierre knows. Pierre, he's a hater, ain't he? Pierre knows.
Pierre is my boy. Just don't ask me to.
And he knows you a hater.
Just don't ask me to say his last name because I've been known to butcher that thing.
Really?
Because I have this picture of W.E.B. Du Bois, and that's not how you pronounce it. Anyway, anyway, all right, this has been good. It's been interesting. Thanks to Christopher Gaither, Pierre, Nathaniel Schooler. I like that name, Schooler.
8.
Schooling people. Like that. Did I miss anybody?
8.
Oh, and earlier on, Eric Suck Up Winchester.
Shut up. Eric, thank you. Jacinto. I didn't see that. Talk about
my fellow DJ. That's right.
No, stop.
My fellow DJ.
Stop.
Brethren.
You are not a DJ.
You're gonna have to bust out my turntables.
Just because, same.
Oh, no.
Because you buy turntables, don't make you a DJ.
That is so wrong. Anyway, and Nathaniel, yes, you rock too, Nathaniel. You rock too. All right. We may be back next Friday. We have a pretty bad track record, but
I know it's pretty bad. But
we will try. We will try. And we hope you have a great weekend. We will see you hopefully next week.
Later, guys.